Hey everyone, it's Melissa with Build a Better Bakery, and I'm here to share 3 simple, easy tips that you can use to help organize your workspace. So these are going to be 3 things that I've used in bakeries that I've worked for and also in my own business, depending on what kind of tools we have around. One of the top things you want to remember is that organization is going to make your life easier no matter where you are, and that includes your baking workspace. So the first thing I want to show you is this box here. It is seriously just a little cheapy sandwich box, but it is bright and it is waterproof, right? So if I get anything on it, nothing's gonna get in here because you can see there's papers. So what I keep in here are my tiny little recipes. I know we all have different ways of setting up our recipes, and this just happens to be the way that works the best for me based on how I bake and the recipes that I use. All of my recipes have the same steps. It's just the ingredients that are different, and that's what's written on all of these little pages. Now, normally I take my recipes and I put a magnet clip on them and I clip them over my counter, my workspace, tape them to the wall, wherever they need to be so I can see them and they're up off my workspace. But when I'm not using them, I always throw them back in this bright green box and everything is in here. So I'm never searching for my recipes. If anybody needs a recipe, they know where to find it. So good tip to keep your recipes all in the same place in a bright thing that you can find. My second tip is tool and small item organization. Okay, so I love this box. I've had it for years. This is something that's used in a lot of different industries, including like tackle, sewing, lots of areas where you need tiny things, just like we need tiny tips, right? If we're decorating something. So what you can see here is it's got enough little containers for you to be able to actually organize, but also not so much that it gets confusing. What I like to keep in here is obviously tips and couplers, rose nails, things like that. And you can see a good aspect of this is that it all comes apart. So if you needed to spray it out or you needed to wash these individually, you can do that. The other nice thing is if you ever wanted to put little labels on, you definitely could. I've kind of memorized where things are, so I haven't used labels. I like to be able to see through it to kind of see what's inside of it too. And then lastly, the other nice thing about this product is it's closed off in the back, you can see. So whenever I go to move this, right, because I'm a military spouse, I move all the time, all you have to do is put pieces of tape in front of these drawers and then it's all in there and you don't have to take anything apart. So that's one of my top favorites. Lastly, I want to show you larger organization containers because me, and I know Claire, our organization coach in the Elite Mentorship Program, agrees with me, that clear boxes are where it's at. Clear boxes. You can see what's inside of it. You can still label these, but it's so much easier to know what's inside because you can see through it. And of course, if there's a long side, you can see everything in there too, right? I personally like the Sterilite brand. I get the white top with the clear bottom in multiple sizes, whatever's fitting on my shelves. If you don't currently have storage, I would suggest getting the collapsible metal shelving. You can find it at Amazon or other retailers that you can choose the height of where you're putting the shelves. It's also easy to clean. You can keep things up off the floor, and it's all vertical storage. So that and or a rolling bun rack, either the short version or the tall version, to help with your storage. Okay, so I want to show you inside the box because there's additional storage in here that's accessible to most people. And that is to take advantage of your Ziploc bags. So this particular box has cookie cutters in it. And as you can tell, it's all bagged up. There's no loose cookie cutters. And I've put some kind of general word on the front of the bags to tell me what's kind of inside of it, right? This says holidays. So if I'm looking for an Easter egg or a bat, I'll probably find it in here. You can go through your cookie cutters depending on how many you have and try to section them out either in bags or boxes or tall containers to know an easier way to figure out where these cutters might be when you're looking for them. It's going to save you a lot of time. And then the last thing I do in here, which is a little bit further into the organization, is if I'm planning a set, like I teach classes, so I know what sets I'm going to use a few months out. I even get the smaller Ziplocs and I put those cookie cutters from the set in here. So when I'm looking through it, like this one is a cat in a moon. So these would be in different bags. But if I know I'm going to use this set soon, I put it in the Ziploc and it's on the top so that when I come in to grab them out, it's already in there. So those are my 3 most accessible tips for organization that I think anyone can kind of plan and get started with right away. We have recipes all in a bright box somewhere that's waterproof and ready to go so everybody knows where they are and nothing's getting lost. We have our small item and tip organizer, which is the best. You will never go back. And then lastly, clear boxes that are similar, all similar. They stack together nicely and up on some kind of organization shelving to get them up out of the way, but you can also see through them and see what you have. So hopefully those are helpful tips for you. There's some of my most favorite that I've used in lots of different settings. If you have any questions at all about how I'm using these, if you need links to the tip organizer or the Sterilite boxes or anything that you've seen in the video, just let me know, reply, send me a comment, send me a message, and I'll get you more help with those. All right, I'll see you later.